Hello, everyone, and welcome to Honors Orientation. My name is Ollie Neighbor. I'm a second-year English and Creative Writing major on the publishing track with a minor in media management and an honors student. I'm also a member of the Orientation Services Student Executive Team, and I will be your host for today. If you are joining us as a new student or a family member, we are so excited you are here. Typically, this session would be a live Orientation Services webinar, but this year, we wanted to try something a little different by sharing this conversation in a podcast format. Our hope is that this allows you to listen at your own pace and get a more authentic sense of what the honors experience at Iowa looks like. Today, we will begin talking about the honors program, what students can expect during their time in the program, and how new students can take advantage of the many opportunities available to them as honors students. I'm so excited to be joined by Candace Wheely, Student Scholarship and Development Specialist, and Madison Kramer, Student Engagement Coordinator from the University of Iowa Honors Program. Thank you both so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, before we dive into our conversation, just want to start with a quick get-to-know-you question. Could you each share a little bit about yourselves, your roles in the honors program, and what you enjoy most about working with honors students?
Yeah, sure. I can go first. So I am the Student Development and Scholarship Specialist for the Honors Program. So basically what that means is that I manage scholarships, help students get connected with scholarship opportunities, help them develop their applications if they'd like help. And then on the other half, the student development half, I do a lot of teaching. I teach the Taylor Swift course. I teach a creative writing course in the spring. And I also teach the big second year seminar, which helps students get through their experiential learning requirement or learn how to get through that requirement.
Thank you for sharing.
And I'm the Student Engagement Coordinator, so broadly speaking, my role is to help students in the honors program find a sense of community and a sense of belonging in the program, but for the most part outside of an academic context. So I advise a lot of our student groups. I guess the one caveat is I teach 2 courses, so that's entirely an academic experience, but I teach the Honors Outreach Ambassador course, which is essentially our internal tour guide system, and then I also teach the Introduction to Honors course, which is the large online first semester course that students will take to help onboard them to the honors program.
As somebody who's taken classes from both of you before, I'm super excited to have you both here. To kick off our conversation, could you both explain what the honors program at the University of Iowa is and what its overall purpose is for students? What makes the honors experience unique compared to a traditional academic experience?
Yeah, I can kick us off here. The honors program here at Iowa is designed to help enrich a student's experience, and we do this through a programmatic structure and curriculum that's designed to help students seek and nurture a deeper understanding of one's discipline and self. A lot of that looks like encouraging students to try new opportunities, and then we really emphasize the reflection process. Students across the university, whether or not they are in the honors program, will try new things. They will do things like research, internships, they may study abroad. The unique aspect for honors students is that we expect and encourage that reflection process, so helping students make meaning out of those experiences that they're participating in.
Yeah, and I think another thing that makes honors really unique at Iowa are some of the programmatic elements that we have, in addition to being a small community. Obviously, you're in classes with other honors students who are really invested in the course material and tend to be pretty chatty and engaged in class, which can make those classes a really fun experience where you get to know the other people who are in it with you more quickly than maybe you would in a traditional class at Iowa. But we also have Prime Time, which is a 2.5-day class that happens before the semester even starts for incoming students. We have honors housing, peer mentors, so other students who sit on the 4th floor of the honors building and are there to chat with you and answer any questions that you have. And of course, we have the honors first year course and honors second year course, intro to honors and second year seminar that help you through the honors curriculum.
Thank you for that overview of the honors program. One question that many incoming students have is about what it takes to complete the honors program. Could you walk us through what students need to do to graduate with university honors?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the main things to lead with is that the Introduction to Honors course will walk students through this again, so there's no need to memorize all of these requirements right off the start. But what it looks like to graduate with the University Honors, students must complete that Introduction to Honors course, so again, the onboarding to the Honors program. Then beyond that, they need to complete 12 semester hours of honors coursework. These could be general education requirements, core courses for your major. It could look like a contract, which is a process that we can explain in more detail once students get on campus, but it's a way to take a course that is not designated as an honors section, work with a faculty member, either one-on-one or in a small group, add some depth to your learning experience, and we can give students honors credit in that way. We also have in-house honors courses. Candace, do you want to talk about what these look
Yeah,
like?
I mentioned two of the in-house honors courses I teach already, but Dr. Emily Hill also teaches a couple of very popular courses, cult cinema, and right now she's teaching her wellness course in the spring, which students absolutely love. And then we have the honors publication course, which is very student-driven and puts together a publication from start to finish.
Yeah, I have so many of my honors friends that have told me how much they love these in-house courses, whether it's the Taylor Swift Poetics course, the publications class, cult cinema, anything in between. So I definitely, before I graduate, want to take a couple of those classes.
Put it on the bucket list, Ollie.
100%. My bucket list is quite long, but I'd love to squeeze it in there.
Okay, and then in terms of other things that you need to do to graduate with honors, there's the experiential learning requirement, which we'll talk about more in depth in a little bit. But for now, just know 12 hours of experiential learning credits.
Beyond that, students need a 3.33 University of Iowa cumulative GPA. And if you complete Intro to Honors, the 12 semester hours of coursework, and the 12 credits of experiential learning, while hitting that GPA just at the time of graduation, you don't need to maintain it, but hit that at the time of graduation, you will graduate with University Honors.
Awesome. A big part of the honors experience is that experiential learning that you both have mentioned. Can you talk a little bit about what experiential learning actually looks like in the honors program and why it's such an important part of the student experience?
Yeah, absolutely. So I teach that second year seminar that I mentioned that walks students through experiential learning. So I can take this one. Basically, experiential learning probably looks a lot like things that honor students are already doing, and non-honor students too. So there's a wide variety from internship to study abroad to service work to more niche things that students do. So basically, if there's something that you're doing that is not passive learning in a classroom, but is active, more hands-on learning, that's going to count as experiential learning. And what separates an honor student doing experiential learning from a non-honor student isn't what you're doing, it's how you're reflecting on it. So honor students essentially go through a reflection process where they turn in a narrative reflection once they're done with their experiential learning activity to really think about how that internship or study abroad or whatever it is connected to their values and was meaningful to them and what they're going to do with that experience in the future.
I think from a student perspective, something I really appreciate about the experiential learning requirement is how it helps you articulate those experiences, which is something that's really, really important when it comes to, let's say, applying for scholarships or applying for grad school, applying for a job, literally anything that you're going to do after college or even during college. It's really, really useful to know how to talk about those experiences.
That's
I think the
great.
honors program
Yeah.
teaches us that very, very well. When do you think students should start thinking about these opportunities?
Yes, thank you for asking that. This gives students anxiety, I've learned, knowing when to start thinking about experiential learning. So if you have an experience that you want to do when you are in your very first semester, start doing it. You can start your experiential learning as soon as you want to. We are not going to start really encouraging you to do it until you've taken that second year seminar course, either in fall or spring of your second year. But you can certainly get started before that. You'll learn how to do the reflective process. You'll learn strategies to think about that experience to help you reflect on it. And then let's say that you've been working in a lab. That's an extremely common experiential learning activity. You started that lab your first semester, you took on our second year seminar, you'll go ahead and file that experience that you've been doing, you'll keep doing it and you'll reflect on it. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much. Let's talk specifically about the experience for new students entering the honors program. What does the first year typically look like for an honors student?
Yeah, for sure. So before the first year even actually starts, there's something that students could consider when they're meeting with their advisors during their SOAR appointment, their student online advising and registration appointment in the summer, which is Honors Prime Time. Candace mentioned Honors Prime Time earlier. It is the 2.5-day workshop that begins before the start of the semester. Students are able to meet honors peers and staff, explore campus, get to know the program a little bit before the rush of the semester starts. Candace, I know you taught a primetime course last year. Do you want to give an example of what that might look like?
Well, yeah, my primetime course is on ghost stories. So it's a pretty typical format for a primetime course that there's some sort of niche, fun, unique topic that your professor teaching the course is really obsessed with. So it's sort of a class that they don't get to teach the whole semester because it's so specific, but they get to do it for primetime. So it's a great way to connect with a professor about something they're passionate about before you even start. So that's great. And the format tends to be lots of discussion, sort of field trip, fun-based activities. So for example, for my class, we go on a walking ghost tour of Iowa City that ends at the Black Angel in the cemetery. Dr. Becerra, the director of the honors program, takes his students out to Lake McBride, I think, and they identify different kinds of mushrooms and, I don't know, find toads and stuff. And so
His niche interest.
his niche interest of mushrooms and toads. Yeah, so that's prime time. It's very low stress.
Yeah, shout out to Dr. Daniel Moore, who taught my prime time when I was a first year. We learned how to play the steel pan at the music building. None of us were music majors. Some of us did not even know how to read music, but it was such a good time. Oh my goodness.
Perfect. I love it. So if primetime sounds like something you'd be interested in as you're listening to this podcast here, be sure to mention that to your advisor during your SOAR appointment, and you will register for that as you register for fall semester courses. When you're looking at that fall semester, make sure to get enrolled in that Introduction to Honors course. I know we have said it probably 100 times already in this podcast. You will continue to hear about it. Make sure you get enrolled in that as we continue to help onboard you to the program. You can explore things like an honors seminar. An honors first year seminar is typically a smaller course. It is not designed to be incredibly academically rigorous, but is designed to help students get acclimated to what it feels like to be in an honors classroom. I know Candace mentioned earlier those classes tend to be more of an active learning environment, and students tend to be more engaged in the material, and a seminar is a really great place to lead into that. Beyond those, students are free to explore what other honors courses they're interested in or what would fit in their program of study as they continue to build their schedules. In addition to the coursework component, like Candace mentioned when she was talking about experiential learning, students can start to look for those experiences. No need to reflect or report on those back to the honors program during your first semester, but students can absolutely start to explore what those look like. We host a wide variety of events in the honors program, so start to attend some of those and just build those connections, start to build community with your honors peers.
Well, that ties perfectly to my next topic, which is the importance of the community that students build with one another. How would you say do honor students connect with each other during their time at Iowa, especially being on a large campus?
Yeah, I think one thing that's worth sharing is just that we have a smaller population of students. So right now we've got just about 2,000 students in the program, or about 9% of the undergraduate population. When you think about participating in prime time, being in those honors sections of courses, coming to honors events, you start to see the same faces over and over. You all have a shared identity right off the bat as being honors students, and so it gives students something to connect about and helps make the large campus feel a little smaller, knowing that they are part of just a smaller group of students. With things like honors housing, honors events, courses, spaces in the Blank Honor Center, the leadership opportunities we provide, students get a chance to connect with honors peers and honors staff, maybe a little bit quicker than they would thinking about the scale of the campus as a whole.
For students listening who are about to begin their journey in the honors program, what advice would you give them?
I would say be yourself and get involved. I think that if you get out of your comfort zone a little bit and really put yourself out there, go to the events that honors offers and meet other honors students, the more you do something uncomfortable early in that way, the more you're going to enjoy the rest of your time at the university, because you'll find your people and you'll find your spaces.
Yeah, I would just add to that, engage in things that also feel meaningful. Like, do things to try new things, but also find your areas of passion. Because we have, 600 student organizations outside of the honors program. We have a lot of student groups that are bringing their interest to the honors program, too. So, like, just yesterday, actually, we had the president of a student organization, the Paper Crane Wishing Project, is the president of the organization on campus and is also in the honors program and wanted to bring an event to our space. So find things that are meaningful for you and find ways to continue to bring those back into the honors program. The other piece I would add is don't worry about the next 4 years on day one. Like, there's a staff here that is more than happy to support you along the way, and we have thought through the structure of the program. So to some extent, just like trust the process.
Trust us.
Yeah, trust us, trust the process.
It's gonna be fine.
And just take it one day at a time. But Ollie, I'm gonna flip it back to you. You are a student in the honors program. What advice would you give incoming students?
I think going off of what you just said, there are so many people here to support you and so many ways to get involved. Really, all of these resources are right at your fingertips, but now it's up to you to take advantage of those. I still remember during my primetime presentation, that first week of classes, I remember you, Maddie, coming up to me, seeing me give that presentation, and I was just so excited to be there. And you told me about the Honors Outreach Ambassadors, which is something I'm now involved with, told me to get involved with that. And I think that just really goes to show how caring and how passionate our staff are. They really want to see our students succeed, but they can't really help you if you're not willing to be helped in the first place. So I think just be really open to all of those opportunities that are about to come your way, because there's so much that you're going to discover as an honors student. Okay, moving on from me now. And my sappy advice.
Give a warning, I'm about to start crying.
What advice would you give out to our parents and supporters who are listening as they support their honors student?
Yeah, the honors program is a really safe space to let your child start advocating for themselves and to really start the professional part of their professional life. So I think really encouraging your child to talk to professors, to ask questions, to find things out on their own, letting them really practice that autonomy would be my advice. I think it's so hard to make the transition from high school to college for parents and for kids too, right? But I think I just want parents to know that the honors program is, like Ollie just said, really looking out for honors students. So let them get out there and be independent.
My only other thought is to encourage students to lean into curiosity. Echoing exactly what Candace just shared, that's typically the language we use when talking to students who might feel nervous about going to office hours or something. Just like lean into the curiosity of like, what if I went? What could happen? And then trying it. So, yeah.
What if it all works out?
Yeah. What a mindset.
Love it. Okay, well, before we wrap up with our podcast here today, I have one final question for you both. What is something you are most excited about for honors students this year, or something new students should look forward to as they begin their time at Iowa?
Yeah, something that I've been excited about is I mentioned this a little bit ago, but the increase in connections between student interest and the honors program. So the Wishing Crane project was really cool yesterday. I also think of the honors program book club that we have going right now. There's a group of students who said we want to have a book club, but starting that on campus feels like a massive undertaking. Could we try it here, try it in honors? And I think that we've just seen an increase in students who are willing to come to us and say, I do this thing, or I have this interest, or I have an idea, could we try it? That's been really fun for me to see, and for new students coming in, I'm excited that they'll get to see that set and that tone of the community being set, and I hope that they lean into it. I also think I'm really excited to see them just become part of this ever-evolving community, and students are really buying into the honors process and honors community, and I'm excited to bring a new cohort of students into that experience.
Yeah, I was thinking of the book club too. I think what I would really want incoming students to take from that is that we have a student advisory board that Maddie leads, and we're really receptive and excited to hear student ideas for a variety of things, ranging from organizations that they'd like to see happen, changes to the spaces and honors, things like that. So I would just really encourage incoming students, if you see something that you think should exist in honors, to talk to someone about it. And I'm excited for them to have other role models of students who are already doing this to be able to use as resources.
100%. I totally agree. There is so much that the honors program does to tailor the program to what students need. And I think that's just something really special about this program as a whole, or something that I've found that I really enjoy as an honors student. Well, Candace, Madison, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today and for sharing some more about the honors program at the University of Iowa. For everyone listening, we hope this conversation helps you feel more prepared and excited about beginning your honors journey at the university. As a reminder, today's content and more can be accessed on Orientation Services YouTube page, which can be found through our website, newstudents.uiowa.edu. Thank you all for listening to today's virtual session with Candace Wheely and Madison Kramer from the Honors Program. Please join us for our future virtual sessions hosted through Orientation Services. Hope to see you all then. On Iowa, go Hawks!